Okay, it's been a while since I've done an update on the truck project. I'm putting a truck on a Crown Vic chassis. I was gone on holidays for a bit this winter and then came back, and we're right in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic right now, and so I'm very thankful to have this project where I can spend a lot of my time away from people and catching up on a few things on the truck. As you can see, I've got the cab on the frame and it's bolted down hopefully for the last time. It's solid on there. And I've been working on the interior, getting all the wiring hooked up, the dash, heater, air conditioning, all that type of stuff. So I'll just describe some of the stuff I've done here. Those are the original Crown Vic Police Interceptor gauges that let's see if I can get that there. There's maybe the best. You can see them in there, the Crown Vic gauges, the speedometer and tach and stuff. I was able to fit them into the dash along with the original truck bezel. So what I did is I cut an opening in the original bezel and tried to include all the original holes, so they were cut out of there. And then, let's have to put this light down, hopefully you can still see. Right in the middle of these stars, there's I put in a rivet-in fastener and then a piece of ready rod, and that ready rod is what holds the dash into the display, and there's just a piece of acrylic or plexiglass over top of there to protect the gauges. So it worked out really well, actually. It was a little bit of work getting it all to fit. Had to put the instruments in the dash first and then thread the whole thing together, so a little fiddly that way, but went together not too bad. And then also too, I was able to get all the switches into the dash as well. Let's see if you can see this here. Yeah, it's not too bad. So that's the light switch over here, and it switches off and on. It's the same knob that came out of the Police Interceptor. The way I put that in is I used the truck light switch and bezel, and there's a little metal part of the switch. I cut that off and I used it as a bracket behind the dash to secure the switch in place so it doesn't move. And so this was the old ignition hole, and since the key's on the column now, I don't need that anymore. So I was able to just screw that in there. Even says lights on it. And then down below, I just mounted the dash dimmer. So that's functional. This knob over here, I've got to do some changes on it yet. I wasn't able to find matching Crown Vic knobs, so I found these off an F150, and I'd like to secure them on a little bit better, but this is still the original pull vent that was on the truck, and it's still functional. I just need to make it a little bit better with the knob that's going to be on their final, the final knob. These other ones are just fake. That one's fake there. And then underneath the dash here, I was able to hook up the parking brake, so it's functional. Goes on. Watch your ears, a little noisy. Release that. But that's all working as it should. Underneath the dash, I've got the fuse panel accessible. Oh yeah, over here, I was able to put the power pedal switch into the steering column, so this will control the pedals back and forth now. That's original off the Crown Vic as well. On this side over here, I was able to get the heater and air conditioning controls, and that's your fan switch there. It's functional. Temperature, and then defrost, floor, all that type of stuff is on that switch over there, and that's just held in. I pulled all the original switches out of the Crown Vic, out of the bezel, and made up a piece of plastic which goes in behind here, and it's actually held on by this over here. These two are just fake switches right now. Eventually I'm going to make one of these into the cigarette lighter plug, but right now this one just holds that in place. And yeah, that turned out not too bad either. And then down below the dash is my OBD2 plug, computer plug. And then you can see over here, I got the vents in. These are original off the Crown Vic as well. I just made up a new little housing to put them into. And since I've been trying to stay away from town and stuff, I'm getting more creative and making things out of what I can find. The box was made out of plastic cutting boards, top and bottom. And as you can see, it's just ready rod in here that bolts in the dash, makes it really nice and solid. And then I was able to get the original Crown Vic heater box and everything under the dash. But to get the air to flow into here, I put a piece of plastic. And actually that piece of plastic was the old, the Crown Vic. It was a police interceptor, and the back of the seats had these plastic panels that were stuck in them. And what they were meant to be for was to prevent someone from stabbing you from behind. And they're nice, they're really nice plastic panels. I pulled them out and I've used them quite a few places, like behind the dash to hold the switch in and things like that. And so I just cut up a piece of that and used it there, and it kind of hides the uglier parts of that heater box and works out pretty good. Also too, you can see over there, this is a 1960 F100, and there's not as much room in these cabs or on the firewalls as the newer trucks. And so I wasn't able to put the blower motor under the hood like it was originally on the Crown Vic. So I put it under the dash here, and it draws air from where the original fresh air vent on the truck was, and then it blows it back outside. And I'll show that over here into this box which I had to build. Air comes in on this side, goes through the air conditioning condenser, and then back on this side, back into the cab again. And so I haven't hooked anything up to the battery yet. I'm hoping this all works. The blower motor seemed to work in that location and draw air, so I hope it all works out like I think it will. But it all fits under the hood now, and haven't got the front clip on yet. It was easier to work on all this stuff while the fenders weren't in place. And then also I was able to finish off the rest of the firewall here. I think I showed this once before, the Crown Vic wiper motor switch. It works off the controls on the stock on the column. And so I've got intermittent, delay wipers, all that type of stuff. Vacuum reservoir, I just bolted there. This is the shifter cable here. I was able to fabricate a plate that covers up all the holes that were in the dash. Wiring comes through over here. The brake is all hooked up now. Steering is hooked, tightened up, thread locker on it to keep everything solid, just like it was originally on the Crown Vic. And what else? Oh yeah, back here I've got all the wiring coming through. That's going to be the power seats. There's a computer for the fuel tank, the emergency shutoff relay, and I pulled an extra wire. I think I'll put a radio back there yet, or some type of a sound system, maybe a Bluetooth amp. And I think that's about it for this update. Thanks for watching.